Good evening. We're live. A couple minutes early. I got bored, so I figured now's the time to have a chat. Moving the magnets. How are we feeling, guys? How are we feeling for the game this Monday upcoming? What's the vibe? What's the energy? Team selections tonight will be extended teams, and then Sunday we will have the final teams at 6:20. Cream, how you going? Footy mate, what's going on? What's happening? Millsy, how you going, buddy? What's happening? How are we feeling, guys? Monday, a few games away. Can you say my name? Is it Jackson? Jackson, how you going, buddy? I'll make sure to remember that now. Jackson, my footy mate. What do we got? George Bond, Yassel, mate. Dick Ganete. What's happening? Rob, how are ya? Yeah, good, Jackson. Good. It's Friday, guys. Long weekend. We're laughing. Let's go, champ. You coming over? Yeah, bro. I'll speak to Lily. I haven't spoken to her about that one yet. I think so. Maybe I'll let you know. Yes. How is everyone's Friday? Because I had a suspect start to my Friday. I woke up in the morning ready to go for a walk with the dogs. I'm putting the lead on Beanie, and my back goes, and I'm fucking dead on the floor, lying on my back for 10 minutes. I could not move. I needed assistance getting back up off the floor. And I think I've penciled myself out of playing footy for a week or two. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Yeah. Unfortunate. Did you hear about Bobby's injury? I saw, Jackson, that there was something about a video of rolling his ankle or something. So we'll see. We'll see how he goes. Hot legs today. Injury, bruh. Yes. G'day. Hey, Bernard. How you going? Good to see you in the chat. Hot legs today. Terrible decision. What does that mean, Cream? Sorry. Am I missing something there? Did you hear about, Bobby Seale injury at training? Hopefully it's more or less nothing, if anything. Tried to get a big freeze. Beanie, but they were sold out of Bunnings. There you go. I know some petrol stations are selling them. I did see them there. So make sure you guys get your support in for Freeze M&D. I think it's the 10th edition of Freeze M&D upcoming. So that's a massive accomplishment for the charity there. What did one Greg Gala say to the other Greg Gala? Tikanis Gala. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Guys, no, champs, Kuku will not be featuring in today's Moving the Magnets. He's got a bad case of Chinese food from last night, I'm pretty sure. He's been down and out on the floor in his bed for the good part of the day. So he's no good. He hasn't made it to. He's been a late omission, and the injury is an illness. So commiserations to Caleb in the chat, and we'll wish him well. You guys want to wish him well in the chat and let him know we're thinking of him while he's in bed. Hey, yeah, Jackson. So what we're going to do tonight is at 6:20, something around that mark, and the extended teams will come out for the Collingwood and Melbourne Demons game. And we'll sort of just go through some possibilities of how the team will actually shape up on Monday. But we'll also do another stream similar to this on Sunday, and because that's when we'll get the final teams. But today we'll get an idea. I'm not sure if any outs will be listed, but we'll get an idea of who Fly is contemplating and bringing in. There he is, guys. Caleb's in the chat. I'm dying, Cuckoo, but I'm still watching chat. Welcome, brother. Was it Chinese? I told the chat it was a bad case of Chinese food last night. Millsy. Yep, Caleb, get well soon, mate. Had food poisoning as well over the weekend. It was shit ass. Fuck, food poisoning has to be one of the worst illnesses. I mean, I've gone to Bali a few times, and I think Bali has my number. I always go there, get food poisoning. It doesn't even feel like a holiday sometimes. Like 50% of the time you're there, you're in bed fucking fighting demons, trying to overcome the shakes, the vomiting, the sitting on the toilet, no sleep overnight. Like there's no fun in that. I don't look forward to that. Footy, mate. Jackson, that will be good. I'll be sure to stick around. Thank you. Appreciate it. Guys, what do you think of the new camera quality? Caleb, do you notice anything different with the camera quality? I'm actually using the camera I use for the YouTube videos. I managed to hook it up, so that was pretty easy. So we're trying to raise the standards here. As Josh Dacos and Nick Dacos would say, we're trying to drive the standards. DTS is one of their things. Jacket is fresh. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's a champion jacket. It's very nice. And it's reversible. But I'm not brave enough to wear it this other way around, which is it's green. This is a bold move, this one here. But one day I'll pull it out. I nearly wore it this way a few weeks ago, but I just didn't have it in me. I feel like I look like the Mask or something when I'm wearing this type of jacket. Really out there type of reversible jacket there. What if I just keep it on for now? What if I just keep it? I'll just, yeah, that's all right, isn't it? Still cold? Yeah, no good. Got hot and cold flushes. Ha ha ha. Good for cutting weight. Yeah, Caleb's got a big fight coming up, and that's tonight, being in the trenches with this illness. Cutting weight looks clear as the camera quality is awesome, beautiful. Thank you. Haha. The only thing it's good for is losing weight. Yeah, it is. But then it's sort of like an excuse to go full ravenous mode once you're all well and good. So get well soon, Caleb. See, people, champs, people are nice to us in here. That's good. No, I'll take off the green. Nah, Steph. Nah, Steph. The green is too much. Maybe not with this. Chris says, get well soon, Caleb. Thanks, mate. Guys, did you guys see my new video that I posted earlier this morning? It was on Ned Moyle from Gold Coast. What do you guys think about that up and coming ruckman? I'm really optimistic about how good this dude is going to be. I want to get an idea of what you guys know about him. Maybe you can teach me something about good old Ned Moyle. Ex-Collingwood VFL player, by the way. Green suits the fuck out of you, brother. Yeah, I feel like, what's his name? Who used to be in a cheer squad? What's his name? Joppa, with that type of color jacket. It's too out there for that. Anthony's going to pull up the next vid, purple and white with that green jacket. I'm a newbie here. Go Pies. Rod, is it Rod? Is that your name? Welcome to the stream, mate. What we're going to do is I think around the 6:20 mark, we'll get some sort of idea of what the extended teams look like for the game versus the Demons on Monday. So then we'll just pretty much just spitball and sort of have a look at what the team could look like when they run out there. Who's a sub? Who are the emergencies? Who's on the interchange? There's some big conversations around Ash Johnson, Bobby Hill's ankle sore. So there's a few things that we need to get a bit more clarity on in the next half an hour or so. And yeah, and then also on Sunday upcoming at 6:20, I'll also do another teams video, moving to Magnets video. Hopefully Caleb is feeling better by then and we can do a finalized teams, and then we'll know for sure on Sunday at 6:20 who's available. But yeah, hopefully, yeah, if that's something you're interested in, stick around. And yeah, well, thanks for joining the stream. Do you think Elliot will retire? I don't. Nah, I mean, we saw him running. We saw some content from the Collingwood Instagram of Jamie Elliott doing his thing at training, although in a limited capacity. It's a stretch from where I forget who it was. Buckley was saying there's a chance he retires, but I think that's a bit, yeah. Hey, do you reckon Elliott will retire from injury? Rumors going around. Yeah, that's the same question, isn't it? He'd be good to have, but still feel like he'll stick with the Suns. I don't know. Well, Jared Witts he's just signed a 2-year contract extension and he's 31. So if you're signing him for another 2 years, the idea is he's going to be the number one ruckman. And I made the case that you can't have two genuine ruckmans in the same team. It just doesn't work. Look at Brodie Grundy and Max Gawn. Sean Darcy and Luke Jackson. And even then, Luke he's a ruck forward, so it's not really two genuine ruckmen there. But the Max Gawn and Grundy project turned out horrific. So if Moyle is smart, or if he wants to play next year, which I think he has ability to, the 4 games he's played this year have been really good. He's leading the contested possession average count in the ruck department. Although he's only played 4 games, it's still some sort of sample size to refer to. So come to Collingwood, where Coxie's only getting older. He's not too far off. I guarantee if Ned Moore was to come to Collingwood, I'm pretty confident he would take the number one ruck mantle and then push Darcy Cameron into a ruck forward position, because that's where I think Darcy Cameron plays his best footy. Darcy is playing beyond his ruck capacity. He's playing very well, but I think his best position is the ruck forward. Woody, how'd you pull up after last week, mate? I did go out Saturday night. Did not end up at Fargo, but no, we're good, mate. We're good. How are you? What'd you get up to? It was good. He's running, but he's looking 8 weeks. Yeah, it is what it is with Billy. And Caleb and I have mentioned over the course of the week, it's concerning with these injuries because there are a lot of soft tissue injuries, and sometimes the timeline is not exact. With these injuries, there can be recurring instances at training or in games when they return. So we'll see how it all pans out. There's a lot to go. Samson BS. All right, it's Sam B-Town BS clickbait. Sorry, I don't understand what you're saying. Hey, mate, was that you at Electric the other week? I swear you coming out of the cubicles. Nah, mate, I actually haven't been to Electric in like 2-3 years. Not me though. Bait. This stream is bait. Might have been someone else. Are you going to the Big Freeze? If so, are you streaming the game? I'm not going to the Big Freeze. I will be doing a pre-game show and a post-game show with old mate Caleb. Obviously, he's not here today because he's sick. He's got food poisoning and he's in the trenches. So none of that. Guys, I'm thinking of popping up the press conference from Fly McRae's interview yesterday. Would you guys be interested in watching that all together with audio this time? The audio will work. So maybe I can do this sort of situation where I'm off to the side. You see less of my face and more of Fly McRae. See what he has to say regarding all the injuries and all that sort of stuff. Are we interested? Let me know. We're keen, guys. Ooh, I'm pretty keen to hear what he says, so I might actually just pop it up if I'm being honest with you guys. So bear with me, guys. Do it, sure. Okay, cool. Hey, Melis, how you going? Yep, Millsy, have you been in the chat before? I don't know if I've seen you in the chat before. Are you new to the channel, or have I just not? Is this your first time? Yeah. Malice, what's your first? Is Malice like your surname, or do you want to be anonymous? Do you prefer a name to go by? Okay, so it's a 5-minute presser, Flyers presser. All right, let's get this going. Good mate was very surprised to see a St Kilda win. More surprised to see Collingwood lose. Doggies keep looking good. Yep. Well, yeah, good result for the Saints, definitely. And yeah, Collingwood, yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is, brother. Share screen. Present. Here we go. Share screen. Last time I tried this, it was a shambles, but this will work. All right. Let's zoom in. All right, guys, this is going to be what's happening here? KFC. We don't want KFC. Shit. How do I press play? What's happened here, guys? Bear with me. Forward. Press play. Full screen. All right, we're on here, guys.
Obviously, first question is, I saw Bobby go down pretty hard. I'm hoping he's all good. Have you had a chat to him and see what the injury is?
Yeah, just spoke to Bobby. He's fine. He's just sort of tweaked his ankle a little bit, but he'll get 4 days before our game, and there'll be no concern there.
Obviously, I spoke to Darcy Moore yesterday, and I said to him, look, like the forward line's getting depleted every week, unfortunately. But Max Gawn then joked with him and said, opening bounce ruck. Would you consider putting him in the ruck?
Well, the father-son of Peter and Darcy Moore, you'd like to think there could be some history there. I don't think so. Like let's call it as Darcy's one of our best defenders, and having a bit of fun with Max is it's all good and banter, isn't it?
Kruger's done a good job in the VFL, obviously, last week. What's he got to do to get a shot this week?
Yeah, Kruger's just been playing some good footy. We just need a bit more time on his legs. He's missed a lot of footy over a number of years now, and so we just needed him to get through some games. He got through a game and kicked 3 goals. The 3 goals is one thing. It's what he did with it around that and playing ruck and other options. His name will definitely be under consideration. No, Will got through training. We sort of... we gave him a bit more time over the weekend to come up. So he was a chance to play last weekend. So as we do is get through a full week of training. So Will be available. Yeah. No, that's probably a bit premature. There was some unknown time frame in terms of Jamie's injury. There was sort of just to watch his space, and we had to work through that, which, it is what it is. And then we got some really good news during the week that the treatment he'd been using is working, and he's on the mend, and I think he might have done his first running session today. So, he hopefully 6 to 8 weeks away, we're hoping. Yeah, well, I haven't really checked out the ladder, but I've checked the ladder around 24. That's when it matters most. We're all in the same boat here. We're trying to qualify, get enough wins to get ourselves in a position to then play finals. And, both teams are, I think both teams are quality teams that ideally their best is going to be hard to beat.
How competitive is the league this year? Because, like as you said, it's surprising to see Collingwood and Melbourne outside the 8 at this time of the year. Is this something you expected? Or?
Again, the ladder position is not true reflection until the end. There's going to be peaks and troughs of everyone's game. The way we started the season, and then found some form throughout. I think most teams will go through a bit of peaks and troughs, and the true value will be right where it matters.
There's one about the big freeze. Obviously, this Monday, big game. Obviously, Neil Danaher has been big part of this all. What does this sort of mean to you coming and playing this game another year?
It means a lot. It means a lot internally and then privately as well. The inspiration of Neil and 10 years, the big freeze, and most people diagnosed with this disease last 27 months on average, and he's such an incredible inspiration, giving hope to many. He spoke to our players early in the week, and he's still such a positive person the way he conducts himself, and I think it's an incredible role model for many. And this whole game we'll embrace and get around and play our part.
Did you catch?
Yeah, I'm going to be out for a week with a hamstring. Come on, we'll be okay. This is it's an incredible story, and it's a horrible disease, and hopefully he's treading a path for a cure and some giving hope for others.
Did you catch Darcy getting dunked yesterday into the ice bath? Did you like the form going in or into the
water? Yeah. I'm glad he's playing on grass, not in water, huh?
And then one more is in terms of, there's been a lot of talk about Melbourne's culture, obviously, on the field, and that's what Max Gawn was talking about yesterday. This is a bad time to be playing Melbourne off a 92-point loss, ironically, because they're trying to fight back and prove their point.
Well, I don't know about a bad time. Yeah, we're expecting Melbourne's best. I think what we saw last week is an outlier. I was watching the game through the entirety, and I'm going, wow, that's not Melbourne. And I think they'd be saying the same. When it becomes that acute, I think it can react the other way really quickly. I think you can fix a lot of things quickly. We're anticipating a huff and puff and blow the house down. That's what's coming. We're just going to be ready for that. We trained Ollie down back today. We're trying to make sure that he's got the balance of forward and back in his game. And he's such a flexible player for us. I'm not sure where it lands at the moment.
Oh, sorry, one more on Reef. I'm not sure if you asked about Reef McInnes before, but how's he tracking, obviously, from concussion?
Yeah, Reef got through his concussion and protocols, and he'll be available for selection.
Look good today? Did he look good today?
Yeah, good. Took a couple of good marks, kicked a couple of goals, and all the things we want from him. So, we'll see how that plays out too.
All right, what do we make of that, guys? I've got a few notes, but did anything spring to mind for you guys regarding that? I've got Bobby Hill, all good regarding that ankle, as quoted by Craig McRae. We got Kruger, who's in consideration. Kruger's in consideration, and after kicking 3 goals, and Reef McInnes is available, Hoskin Elliott's available. Surely it means Ash Johnson doesn't make the squad this Monday. because of the availability in our taller stocks. That would be my natural assumption. And then Oleg or Markov was training in defence. So does that suggest he goes into the back line to make room for Reef McInnes and Nathan Kruger? Great barrier return. Yes, yeah, Reef. Yeah, Reef and Krug. Yeah, Reef and Krugs will probably play in the same side. Like Reef is 6'3" or something like that, but he's a slender 6'3" and he applies good ground pressure. He came into the league as a midfielder. So you're not losing a lot of mobility with Reef in the side along with Kruger. And besides that, who are the other tools that you could have in your forward line but beyond that anyway? So they're not going to be overly tall. Yeah, Bytel is a shout being out. He's a shout being out. And does that mean Ed Allen comes in? I'm not too sure about that. Does that mean Finlay McRae holds position, maybe gets some time on the wing? I'm also not too sure about that. But hopefully, guys, in 20 minutes, we'll get some sort of idea of what the teams look like from an extended team's standpoint. Caleb says, seems like there's a tad concern on his fitness stepping up into the AFL for Kruger. Yeah, that's what Fly's probably suggesting, that there's a bit of a fitness concern. But I guess he sort of hints that there's a chance that he does feature kicking 3 goals. I'd love to see him play. I think everyone would love to see him play. You know, you're never going to be truly ready for AFL level fitness. You saw yesterday with that ruckman from Adelaide, Strawny, hadn't played in a few years at AFL level, and then comes in and lasts a good part of 2 quarters because of that groin. So sometimes you hit, sometimes you miss, and sometimes you get through the games. Oh, sorry. What happened here? Who's this? William Holt Art Gallery. Johnson stays in and helps ruck. What if Kruger comes in? You would assume if Kruger comes in, he would pinch hit in a ruck. Fly McRae in that presser did say it wasn't just the 3 goals that Krugs kicked; it was what he did around the ground as well, pinch hitting in a ruck and doing a job. Might be handy to try Howe full time as a forward, given no lever for Melbourne. Yes, Stav, great point. I mentioned that Melbourne they don't look the same without lever in the team alongside Stephen May, and someone like Jeremy Howe, who knows who does have that forward craft. Maybe that's an option. The thing is, like, the good thing about Collingwood is we have so much versatility and so many swingmen that can play different roles on different ends of the ground. So that's the really positive thing going into this game. We can really flirt with what the variability looks like within our team. Yeah, Caleb, me too, champs. Hope he comes in on Monday. Yeah, exactly. Hopefully Krugs comes in. Hey, Jackson. Yeah, this is your other channel. No dramas. No dramas, mate. No dramas. Yeah, so we'll see. Like I said, I'm hoping we can get more of an idea in about 15 minutes or so regarding what our team could look like. What else did I take from the presser? Craig said the rumours around Jamie Elliott's concerns for his career were premature, and they got some positive news this week that the treatment that he's been doing for his foot has been working well, and he had his first running session yesterday. So he said 6 to 8 weeks in that presser. So 6 to 8 weeks for Billy Boy. Will Hoskin Elliott's available. And that's pretty much probably the main points that I got there. Krugs jumps and crushes packs. Exactly. He's just erratic on the field. He's just a bit of a nuisance. You know, if someone's playing on him in the forward line as a defender, they're going to leave the game bruised. That's just Kruger's nature. So that's what we want. Yeah, Kruger has to play. It's not like there's a lot of other options. I think off the top of my head, outside of our 22 plus 1 from last week, we have TJ, we got Harry Dimatia, Ed Allen, we have Kruger, we have Reef McInnes, we have Hoskin Elliott, and those are the 7 players that we have available outside of the AFL. So it's not a great deal of wealth of players available, but it is what it is, I guess. It is what it is. Hey, brother, it is what it is. M&D, yeah, M&D is a... Oh, okay, there you go. Yeah. Elliott rumours a clickbait from Sam Brown. There you go. I think Moore has the height to play in the ruck, 203 centimetres. I think there's a saying, you don't put your Rolls Royce in the ruck. And Darcy is our Rolls Royce in a defensive element. So you wouldn't want to put him there. Di Mattia in for Finn, or do we give Finn another shot? I don't know. I think Di Mattia, could either play forward, half forward flank, or half back flank. That's one or two of the other positions. So we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully we get more of an idea soon. I actually played soccer with someone when I was 18 and he was 24 and he got diagnosed with M&D at 28 and passed away just last October. So it's a really like fast progressing disease. So it's confusing. A lot of these neurological disorders and illnesses we just don't know enough about. It's so within its infancy and there's so much more to learn about it. So it's an interesting watch this space, and hopefully for me on a personal level, I'd like to know more about it before my time is up on this planet. So, but we need him down back, so probably not. Exactly. Yeah, we need Darcy Moore in the back. Like I think Max Gawn and Darcy Moore was having a laugh to who's your tip for tonight? Out of the doggies in Brisbane, I think doggies are going to have a serious crack at it. Is Tom Liberatore playing? Let's have a quick squeeze. Let's have a quick squeeze at the doggies team against the Lions. I think I want a good game. I always say if Collingwood's not playing and I'm watching a game of footy that is between two different teams that aren't Collingwood, I just want a good game. Like yesterday was okay. Up to halftime was a bit of a sleep fest, but then Richmond obviously put the foot to the throttle and beat the Crows at Adelaide Oval. So that was a serious. Tom Liberatore and Buku Khamis in. So Khamis in because Sam Darcy is suspended. Maybe Buku Khamis plays forward. Unless it's Carlton. Yeah. Do I barrack against Carlton when they play? It depends on the ladder position as well, of course. I just want the team, outside of having a good game, I want the team closest to Collingwood or the team that poses the most threat to Collingwood's position on the ladder. I want them to lose, along with having a good game. So that's probably the way I look at it. What do you think we need to work on since the Dogs game? Jackson, interesting question. I think it was more to do with our lack of defensive half transition. That was our one wood last year, and we're second last for that. So maybe that's something we can work on in the meanwhile. But it's tough. It's skewed because we don't have our best team available. So obviously we're not going to be able to score as well. Top three hated teams go. Like I said, Steph, I don't really have too much hatred for other teams. Who have I hated in? I don't know. There are teams that used to piss me. Like Hawthorn, obviously just the most successful teams used to do my head in. Hawthorn, West Coast, Sydney. Caleb and I caught a bus to Sydney for the preliminary final in 2022. So I have a special place in my heart of hatred for that Tom Papley play where he pushed Darcy Moore into the next country. So that was something that's stuck with me for a very long time because that was a painful trip home. So that's probably for me. And yeah, Hawthorn was still like Collingwood's bogey team to a certain extent. So would like us to go after a gun key back in the off season and swing more forward, a bit wild. No, I like that idea. I really do love the idea of Darcy Moore swinging forward at some point in his career, but we're just going to we will need someone to cover that hole in the back line if that is to happen. And no one in our team at the moment is really near the ability that Darcy Moore is at. Do you guys remember Tom Langdon? Could you imagine if we had Darcy Moore, Tom Langdon, and Nathan Murphy in the same back line right now? Tom Langdon, if you don't know, played in the 2018 grand final, played like 60, 70 games and had to retire prematurely due to knee injuries. So that was a big bummer. He would have been a serious player and was becoming a serious player. And his brother Ed Langdon plays at Melbourne as well. So I don't like Hawthorn at all. Don't blame you. I don't blame you. I've actually got a couple cool videos coming up. I've got a video on, it's a title, guys. I won't give the topic of the video away unless you know what I'm talking about. But the title is Collingwood lost by 86 points and then won the flag 6 weeks later. So if you know Collingwood well, you'll know what season I'm talking about. But I think that's a nice, enticing title, and it's going to be like another mini documentary. So that's that's a video I'm really looking forward to doing, which I've written up the script. I've just got to do the footage of it. And then I've also got a bunch of ideas. Like, they're all just springing to mind. I've got so many ideas. I'm doing a video on the best draft steals in modern AFL history in a national draft for Collingwood. So that's why Tom Langdon springs to mind right now. Carlton, Sydney, Essendon for me. Carlton, Essendon, Melbourne for Steph. We'll be interested to see if there's any emphasis on finishing games strong now, given our recent 4-quarter fade out. Something to keep an eye on if we lead versus Melbourne at 3-quarter time. Definitely something to keep an eye on at 3-quarter time if we're in front. I think it's more to do with the fact that we've got injuries to some of our most experienced players who are able to shut down the game and hold it off. Like Scott Pendlebury can do that, Jordan De Goey, Tom Mitchell. They're all important players who would be pointing fingers throughout the game. Jamie Elliott's a clutch game finisher, so that's a player we're missing there as well. Huskin Elliott. So there's that. And then there's if we convert our chances early in that first quarter against the Doggies, we're not having this conversation. So can we be more clinical when we have the momentum? That first quarter was the most momentum strong, most heavily weighted momentum towards Collingwood in any game I've seen this year. Do you guys agree with that? Do you think that's a fair call? That first quarter against the Doggies was probably the most dominant, outside of maybe the West Coast game, that was the most dominant quarter I've seen from Collingwood this year thus far. Will we put in our new ruck, Ilaro Smith? Nah, not yet. Anthony, I hate every other team. Yep, fair. I dislike all teams. All like to play us. Yep, that's true. Langdon was a gun and was just getting better and better. He was getting really good. Collected the ball well, disposed of it well, was a great intercept player. Was one of our best players in that 2018 grand final from memory. Like, he was really good. I think Harvey Harrison and Lockie Sullivan will be great for the rest of the season. I like the idea of both of them remaining in the side. Lockie Sullivan's probably going to have more trouble holding down his spot when Tom Mitchell's ready to go. Harvey Harrison, however, I would think that he's really stolen Sidebottom's position on the wing, and that's why Side has been forced to the half-back flank. So I think Harvey has some good stuff to go about. George Bond, 1990, Yep, Freaks, really. Yep, exactly. Yep. Yes, Dunstall kicked 11 that game, so I'm glad you guys know what video or what year I'm referring to. But for a lot of people who are a little bit younger as well, it's probably news to them. So 1990, nice. How do Pies get up on Monday and best on ground? Hey Nick, how you doing? How do Pies get up? Well, when the contested ball, the D's have been absolutely turned up in that stat for the last few weeks. Jake Lever's out, so take advantage of that different looking Melbourne defensive side. They're just a completely different side without them. But it's gonna be a dogfight. Like, the D's are not gonna submit to a 100-point loss again, and a 50-point loss. I highly doubt it's going to be a close game, unfortunately. What can I say? I feel like every week is a close game with Collingwood, and this one there's too much riding on both teams to have a poor performance. So, yeah, move the ball better. We moved the ball horrifically against the Dogs and haven't been moving the ball very well all year. Dunstall kicked it bad. Millsy, agreed. Good point. Got to play the moments. Exactly. Play the moments. Like, I think it's a bit of a fallacy that there's such thing as a 4-quarter performance, or at least there's a misinterpretation of what entails or what comprises of a 4-quarter performance. When I hear 4-quarter performance, I think take the moments, create scoreboard pressure in moments of momentum, and then when the other team has momentum, just hold down the fort. Defend well and just hold on for dear life if needed. That's a 4-quarter performance. Whereas some people think a 4-quarter performance is you win every quarter that you play. You win quarter one you kick 3 goals to 1 in the first quarter, then 5 goals to 2, and then 2 goals to 1 in the third, and then 3 goals 2 in the fourth. It doesn't work like that. Very rarely does a team in any sport, look at the NBA, look at the soccer, or maybe not the soccer because it's two halves, but look at the NBA and look at the AFL. Very rarely does a team win every quarter. Yes, they might lead the game at the end of every quarter, but they don't win every quarter. So it's just momentum. Take your moments and hold up when you need to hold up. Will Reef be back? Yeah, I think so. I think the body language and tone that Fly used in that presser that we just watched might suggest that Reef will come back. I think he has to. Caleb says Illaru will be a work in progress. Jackson probably won't see him for a minimum a year to see him develop and get a full preseason under him. Yeah, exactly. Definitely, probably a year at least. He's very young and very raw. Matt Schellenberg also added, also another Rob the Victory, great reader, player and user by foot. Yeah, I think he did have a chance finally after he came back from a few ACLs, but never really reached the potential. And I think that's why he sort of fell short in the end. But he was definitely a highly touted player coming in to Collingwood. I think it was a top 10 pick from memory. I definitely concur with that statement. I was at the game, and that first quarter we were firing in all cylinders, the center clearances, the restraining dogs in the front half. But squandering 7 behind hurts us. Exactly. Like, how many scoring shots did we have that first quarter? I think I actually took a screenshot of it. Let's go here. Back to round 12. It hurts to press round 12 on the AFL app because I just know what it could have been. Where is it? 12 scoring shots in 1 quarter of footy. That's a lot. That is a lot. When we bashed Ed Langdon last year, how much fun was it to watch after what he said on the scale? It was fun. I don't know about you guys, but I like a bit of, I guess, competitive banter, if you will, or challenging other teams, or a bit of ego, like showing that, like, or telling the media you think you're the best team or best player, or this guy can't guard me, or he can't defend me, he's too small, he's not strong enough, I'm too quick for him, I'm too good on the ball. I like that. It creates a narrative. Whereas I think we're just so, I don't know who or why it's not like that. It's probably against the Australian nature and culture to have a bit of ego and a bit of, I guess, just a bit of bounce in your step when you're talking to the media. I think the teams probably ask you to steer away from those type of comments, but I personally like it. I want a narrative. I don't know. That's just what I want. I don't want robots to be just giving us generic answers, like robot answers every press conference, every post-game interview or on the podcast. Like, just allow yourself to be free. But I think it's a bit deeper than just the player themselves. It's what the clubs are saying. It's what it's what the fans are saying. It's like, if you say something in Australia and it doesn't strum the right string, then people are going to get upset, and then there's huge backlash on the club, and that's why clubs probably prefer that we steer clear of those type of comments. That's my opinion. I'd like to get your thoughts, guys. Moving on, Darcy Cameron has been awesome this year, loving his intercept mark and keen to see me and score this week. Yep, I completely agree, Mullet. I think he's been an unbelievable marking ruckman this year, and against Gawn is probably one of the biggest challenges that he will have this year. And what a great test when two ruckmen are playing in such great form, coming up against each other at the right time of the year. It'll be an interesting contest, and that's, like, I guess, a matchup or a game within a game that I'll be looking forward to. PM is Noble. What'd you say, Holt? Pies 1990 flag. Shout out to Peter Sumich for the draw. Yes. Imagine, like, in today's day and age, Sumich would be snapping that from the position he shot from rather than a drop punt. And maybe we wouldn't have had that extra week off, or we wouldn't have had that opportunity if he didn't take a snap back then. It was a drop punt from the boundary. So that's how they used to approach their set shots. I heard one of the journos say Melbourne's midfield is quite weak. Do you think the same, Ben? No, I think they're one of the hardest hitting and toughest midfields in the league, if not the best. I think they just had their colours lowered last week. Woody, do you think TJ has any chance of a game? He was in the emergencies for last week, and there were players who were disappointing last week. So I don't know what percentage of a chance he is, but I think he's definitely a chance if he was emergency last week. Jamilo says, end of an era, it'll take a while to win the flag. I'm not willing to hang my hat up on that just yet. AFL is a game of momentum. Exactly, brother. I was right behind the Josh Dacos goal in Medallion Club row. Such a good goal to watch. Yeah, it was unbelievable off the boundary. And you just knew he was going to kick that goal. It's just a Dacos-esque goal. I prefer when the players show personality, to be honest. I thank you. I'm glad you see my point, Millsy. It's just boring sometimes when people don't want to say what they truly want to say. Like, don't be scared. Don't be a pussy. We need to learn how to start being more ruthless with our wins. That's the next step. Often we're a 6-7 goal better team, but the scoreboard often flattens our opponents. Yeah, look, it could be worse. We could be a team that gives up these leads entirely and we lose. But it would be nice to have a bit of relentlessness towards teams when we're up by 5-6 goals. And I think it's just etched in our mentality now. I don't know. It's not a nice thing to have, but I mean, we won the flag last year coming off the back of 12, 13 close games over the last couple of seasons. So it's not the worst thing, but it's probably not good for our hearts, right? Ego is not a dirty world. Skyhooks 19. I'll write that down. Is it ego is not a dirty word? Ego. Is that a book? Is that a movie? Is that a quote? Is not a dirty world. Skyhooks 1975. I want to look into that after because I like the sound of that. Jonathan Brown last year spoke very highly of Oscar Steen. It'll be exciting to see him play once he overcomes injury. Hey, Becky, welcome to the stream. Okay, that's interesting. Where did you see that? Was it just like on the couch or was it a podcast that he was on? I actually, admittedly, I don't know too much about Oscar Steen. I know he's young. He's injured at the moment in the VFL. He's over 200 centimeters tall, so he's got that height physicality there needed to play at AFL level, which is what you need, which is good. But I don't know much about his playing ability. I know he had a decent, consistent season last year in the VFL, sharing the role with Aiden Begg, switching from forward to ruck. So that's as much as I know about Oscar Steen. But if someone like Ned Moyle was to come to the club, I guess the landscape of our ruck stocks would look completely different. Have we got our extended teams available yet, guys? Or are we not going to get them? I think we might be a minute or so away. Is it here? No. Nothing yet. Guys, give me a heads up if we have the teams. I think Melbourne's midfield butchers the ball. Yeah, they're probably not the best ball users in Jack Viney and Clayton Oliver, even Petrarca. He's good at times. He's been playing a bit more forward. Tell us a bit about your footy career. What are we talking? Lanky hybrid forward or more in and under? Get it the fuck out. Long story short, I was initially a soccer player. I was a goalkeeper at Melbourne City in the reserves up until I was 20. Once I wasn't good enough, I got released. Played local footy, played a couple games in the ones, won a flag at under 19s level in that year. Then I had foot surgery, and then I didn't really have much of a chance to get back into footy until this year. Play at this club called Oakley Crashers, which is in the VAFA. They're Prem C. I just pretty much went to go there, play to have fun. I played a game in the thirds, 2 games in the twos, and then a game in the ones last week. And then we've got the bye this week or 2 weeks ago. I played. I'm not really there to play ones anymore. I'm just there to enjoy my footy and play. But I've been obviously surrounded by footy all my life. So you like the Stephen May comment of thinking Melbourne should have beaten Collingwood? I respect it. You got to back yourself. Like if you don't think you're the best team on the day, and at the end of the day, they killed us in the stats. Killed us. Like you're looking back at the stats, they destroyed us. They just couldn't score. But the 2 best stats behind the scoreboard is your scoring percentage per inside 50s and your scores conceded per inside 50 against. I feel like those 2 stats are the biggest tellers of how your game goes because you can be a good contested ball team. You could have a bunch of inside 50s, but at the end of the day, if you don't kick goals and defend, then you're not going to win games. You can have every other stat under your belt. If you don't have those two, then that's all that matters. Considering we lost to St Kilda, we haven't done that bad to come back. Yeah, exactly right. We've done well to come back. Akamanis has ego and the media attacked him big time. Yeah, it's on us and it's on the media. If you say something people don't like, then you just it's a more worldly political issue these days. The NBA, they're a little bit more articulate with things they say and they're not scared. But I think that's embedded in the American culture and the makeup and just the build-up of it all. Whereas, we're like more of a blue-collar country where we're like no faster. We don't want to get into like, I guess, that sort of rubbish, if you will. But I personally like it in a sports entertainment realm anyways. We need to play both McInnes and Kruger for our structure. We should be replicating Myercheck and McStay. Obviously not their level, though. Yeah, I think, we're going to have to play McInnes and Kruger on the weekend. I don't think Ash Johnson's going to be a part of that. And we're probably one player too short against the Doggies. We didn't have many options, bailout kicks going along inside 50. Ash Johnson only played 60% time on ground on the field. Markov was probably the next tallest player. And, it just didn't work out. It didn't work out. I did AA187. I've been going through the Draft Guru website quite a lot, and I've seen he played a couple seasons for Collingwood around I think, don't correct me if I'm wrong, but like in the early mid to late 2000s from memory, if that serves me correctly. But I will make a more concerted emphasis to have a look at Sean Rustling's career. Becky says, Jonathan Brown's podcast, he made a point to tell Magpie fans to get excited, Reece, Steen, hoping. Yeah, here's to hoping, absolutely. I mean, if Steen can add some extra competition to the ruck stocks and our tall stocks department overall, then it's a win for Collingwood. And I think if Jonathan Brown is making that suggestion that Oscar Steen is has a large ceiling of potential, then that's a win for Collingwood. Here we go. I call him Jason Rakamanis. I heard a report that McKean was interested in returning to Collingwood. Any truth to that? There hasn't been a lot since that came out, Void generation, but I did make a video on that 2 weeks ago talking about Markeen and the talk around it. So if you want to have a look at my channel and see that video there, I did cover that 2 weeks ago, but there hasn't been much discussion externally since then. Okay, is there any update regarding the teams? Are we going to get anything teams-wise as far as extended teams are concerned, guys? Like I said, if not, we're going to come back and revisit this on Sunday at 6:20 when they release the final teams. But I'm not sure if we're going to see an extended teams tonight. Again, do you guys remember last year if they released an extended teams for Sunday? Because at the moment, there's nothing popping up on the AFL channel at the moment. Last week, we should have played Kruger along with Ash and had Ash or Kruger part-time ruck. Billy should have never been at full forward. It left a hole for Sam Darcy to get a hold of the game. Lockie couldn't have said it better myself. Charlie Dean was not the right matchup for Sam Darcy. I think Fly almost stitched up Charlie Dean with that matchup. It was a 6'3.5" dude versus someone who's 6'9". It was just never going to work out in a one-on-one contest. And then, Billy Frampton could have played in the back line and Kruger forward with Ash Johnson. And maybe that elite would have alleviated a bit of pressure for Ash Johnson, but not to be. Ash Johnson probably gets dropped. Billy Frampton goes back into the back line and Kruger comes in. I think the only case Fly was making with Kruger last week was he just didn't have the match conditioning and maybe not enough confidence at VFL level yet to take that into an AFL standard. But now it's a different conversation after kicking 3 goals and doing some good work in the ruck around the grounds against the Footscray VFL as well. So, guys, anything on Ash could have got a feel with the ball from the ruck. Yeah, I think Ash actually played ruck once or twice. If it wasn't last year, it was maybe in 2022. How do we get Ash to live up to his potential? That's $1 million question. Well, we need VFL form by the looks of it, but we're not getting that for Ash at the moment. So in times of need, when we don't have a great wealth of, availability, he was forced or thrusted into the team by means of necessity, and unfortunately, he didn't have much of an impact. Again, Collingwood outside of that first quarter probably didn't play amazing. It was another tough game for Ash Johnson. Again, 60% time on ground. I'm querying why that was the case. That's not his typical average time on ground. Yeah, George. So the full teams will be announced at 6:20 on Sunday, but I was hoping maybe we'd get extended teams because I know if a team is playing on Sunday, there's an extended teams listed on the Friday, and then the final teams today. So extended teams Thursday, and Friday is usually the extended teams or the final teams, Trash potential, trade him, although he's likely to underperform there too. Not even trade bait anymore. Yeah, I don't think there's any trade value in Ash Johnson. It's either he performs at Collingwood or he's going to be delisted and probably won't see the light of an AFL club again. Last chance gone at the end of the year. Yeah, at the most, last chance is this game against the Demons if Ash Johnson is selected. We need to develop Steele as a forward instead of just a ruckman. Every time we have a tall forward go down, we have no backup. He's 201 centimeters, takes a strong mark. Then he can chop out Cameron. Yeah, Oscar Steen. Yep. Maybe so. Or would you entertain Ned Moyle coming down from Gold Coast? And he looks to be ready-made. I really like the looks of him. I did a video on Ned Moyle today. There's talks that there are a few clubs chasing Ned Moyle's signature, and that includes Collingwood. Bang on, Craig. Time to take out the trash. Yeah, very close to taking out Ash Johnson, unfortunately. And it'd be a shame. It'd be one of those players where you look back and you go, geez, he had a lot of potential. Similar to Alex Fasolo. I don't know if that's a bit of a stretch. I feel like Fazzy had some really good seasons and probably did have an overall better season or career than Ash Johnson, but I feel like Fasolo had a lot more potential than what he lived up to in the end. Ash was really good in 2022, but just form or confidence. But yeah, unfortunately, probably delisted. Yeah, exactly. Can you post a video on your lineup predictions for Collingwood this week? If so, I'll be sure to watch it. Yeah, like I said, on Sunday at 6:20, we'll do with Caleb. Caleb will be available. We'll do the finalized team. So, yeah, finalized team on Sunday, and we'll look at, I guess, our best 22 or whatever it may be, and a 22 combined between Collingwood and Demons. So we'll do that as well on Sunday. But I'm sorry, guys, it doesn't seem like there's extended teams being announced today. But nevertheless, I feel like we're having some good back and forth here in the comment section. Guys, shoot away, fire away as many questions as you like. What do we want to talk about? What have I got in mind? Pie's Eyes podcast. Caleb and I will probably look to do one next week. We'll be due for one next week. Maybe a bunch of start, bench, and drop. Maybe Caleb and I will do a bunch of those for the podcast next week. I'm not too sure. That's just me spitballing ideas, but definitely want to do a podcast next week. So 2018 for Sol, I'm not sure if he was injured, but he couldn't find a spot in the squad and couldn't conjure form. Imagine if he was playing in that 2018 grand final. Could have been handy. Could have been definitely handy. Do you think we look faster since Tom Mitchell's been out? Yeah, I think overall we actually kind of look faster as a team as we've injected a bit of youth. So naturally that's going to happen anyways. I'm still on the fence with Tom Mitchell. Like, as far as, is he one of our best midfielders? And has he still got the legs to keep up in a more open game? And there's games where, Mitchell's proved me wrong tonight. He looked unreal in the contest and probably don't win the game without him. But then there's some games where the game just looks so far past him, it's not even funny. But, yeah, it's conflicting. But what do I know? I'm not the coach. We'll leave it to the coaches. Bit of a Mick Malthouse mo going on there. This is Steph, this is the best I can do. This is the best mustache I can grow. I can't do any facial hair here or here. And if I do, it's quite sparingly. If our mids on all players rove to Max Gorn, we get service from the best ruck in the AFL. Simple. Oh, and we need to kick straight. That's another way to look at it. Just look to shark Max Gorn's tap hit zones and kick straight. Get me some lem sip, man. Is that lemon soup? You want lemon soup, brother? I'm not sure if your stomach's going to accept it. If a guy's joining the chat late, Caleb was supposed to feature in this show today, but he's a late omission due to illness, undisclosed illness, or at least we're not sure what the cause of the illness was. Did he go out last night and have a big one? Did he have Chinese food and that's sort of not being accepted? Did he go for a run in his jocks? I don't know. There's a lot to consider when it comes to that man, Caleb, tonight. He's a late omission, and we'll leave it at that. If our club tagged people, who would we tag tonight? For Western Bulldogs, we would have tagged, like last week, maybe put more work into Bailey Dale. He's a great ball user off half back. I think he had 30-odd disposals against us and ran at 80% disposal efficiency and killed us. So maybe him. Mitchell in a grand final, enough said. Exactly. There's games where he just wins it for us in one way or another, whether it's his pressure, his ability to win the ball in the contest, who knows. Great for finals, to be honest, but yeah, goes missing during the season. Champs, what about this one? The thing is, Caleb and I are both like multifaceted athletes in the sense that Caleb comes from a rugby background. He's played more footy than me, definitely. I think he's played 150 games of footy. I've only played 30, but I have a soccer background and Caleb has a rugby background. And we're different positions as well. So if I try to play Caleb's position as a halfback flanker, he's obviously better than me. But if he tries to play the centre half forward role, which I play, I would say I'm better. I'd have to say that. That's my ego, right? It's the ego. He's got to say he's better at his role, and I'm going to say I'm better at my role. And if we don't agree, then it is what it is. It's a shame Cox is out. He did a fantastic job on Gorn last game. I actually don't remember Cox's game on Gorn, but yeah. Darcy's hit on Maynard was a bit shitful. What's that in regards to? Kruger and Reef to come in this week. Josh Eyre is going to be very handy for our backline in the second half of the season. Yeah, I'm really excited to see what Josh Eyre is about. That's exciting. All right, here we go. 200. So Caleb's played 200 games of footy, which champs, that doesn't help your case any better because I've only played 30 games of footy in my life, and I've played 3 senior games in 30 games of footy at the age of 26. So I'd like to think that's a good return. How many one games you got? Like I said, 30 games of AFL footy and of local footy and 3 senior games. I'd like to think that's a decent return for somebody who is originally a soccer player at heart and a good soccer player at that. So just search my name on Google, man. I am 9. I play footy. I'm 154 centimeters tall. What position do I play? I don't know, Jackson. I'd maybe just play everywhere. Get familiar with every position on the field, and that will help you in the long run because it helps you understand everybody else's position on the field. So that's really important. Oh, Sam Darcy's hit on Maynard. 2 weeks. Was it fair? Is that a fair adjudication? I don't know. Is it a bit much? I would have been okay with a week. I thought maybe a fine, but yeah. Anyone else thinks Illyria Smith looks a bit like Adam Driver, who played Kylo Ren in the Star Wars Force Awakens? Why do I feel like I know who you're talking about there? Let me see. Kylo Ren. I'll put it on the screen, guys. Have we found? This dude. Okay. Take the sunnies off, Craig. Yeah, mate. We're inside, Craig. Get those sunnies off the DP. Share screen. Where do we share screen? Present. Oh, stop screen. Present, share screen. Does Illyria Smith look like this guy here? There we go. Are we saying Illyria Smith looks like this? Yes, Ben. Hey, he pulled it. He pulled it out of me, guys. I've got to mention it every stream. Does this guy look like Ilira Smith? Have we got any better lookalike ideas? I feel like it kind of looks like him. There's someone else I have in mind for Ilira Smith, but I can't quite recall who it might be. Old school common thing back in the day. To wear sunnies. Stab, let me see if they've done the... I don't know if they're going to do the extended squad. I really don't know. Let me refresh here. It doesn't look like there's going to be an extended squad. It might be tomorrow. It might be tomorrow that they do the extended squad, but Sunday night 6:20 is when they do the final squad. So we'll be back for that one, and Caleb will be well enough to feature on Moving the Magnets Part 2 on Sunday. Yeah, so no, it doesn't look like there's going to be an extended squad tonight, unfortunately. You're an EC, Craig. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Old school common thing back in the day. Craig, where did you used to go at, Craig, back in the day? Where was a spot for you? Where did you go? What was the place to be? When you wanted a few drinks and a little boogie on the D floor and a chance to rizz up some of the chicken babes on the dance floor, where would you go to test your luck? What am I saying? What am I saying, guys? Bombay Rock Kramers. Russell says venue 28. Where is this? Is this Chapel Street? Is this in the Mornington Peninsula? Is this in Dandenong? Is this Cheltenham or Ringwood? Where are these places? I used to ruck back in the day. I'm only 175. No chance of doing that now. Used to run ruck at 175 centimeters. That's crazy. Who'd you play for, Cream? Who'd you play for? Grab a granny night. You don't want to know, Craigs. Doncaster, Russell. Russell says, go the Mighty Pies. Confident they get the job done. Bombay Rock, Brunswick, Preston. Well, is Brunswick what it is today back then? Like full of, I guess, what's the word? Hippies? Was it like quite hipster-esque back then as well? I mean, you're the one wearing the sunnies in the DP. It must have been a little bit hipsterish back then as well. But so yeah, Bombay Rock was in Brunswick and Kramer's was in Preston. When I hear Kramer, I think Seinfeld. Kramer. I love these old comedy shows. That's not the right Kramer. Hold on. Am I thinking the right Kramer? Seinfeld? Yeah. These comedies like Seinfeld, Friends, The Office, even maybe 2.5 Men, like those shows are undefeated and we'll never get shows like them ever again. But they will forever be one of my, I guess, favorite, most nostalgic shows to the day. Russell, new hotel Dandenong where Pants Mullane hung out. I'm actually doing a video on the 1990 YouTube, on the 1990 Premiership soon. The title, I'm not sure if you're in the chat, but the title is we lost by 83, Collingwood lost by 83 points and then won a flag the next sorry, let me say that again. Collingwood lost by 83 points and then won the flag 6 weeks later. Yeah, Pants Mullane. How many girls have you kissed with those sunnies on, Craig? Easy, Steph. Easy, brother. Back in primary, definitely wasn't 175 back then, though. We played against other schools at Essendon's Hangar. Live in Philippines for 12 years. So many, Steph. Nice. Love that. Philippines for 12 years. Have you got a Filipino wife and a family with the in Philippines, or are you back in Melbourne, or what's your story there, Craig? You don't have to disclose all if you don't want to, mate. That's fine. But that's Kramer. What a man. Mornington, Data Hotel Mornington. Obviously, a lot of these clubs aren't around, or the venues are probably still around, but just not the same name, operating under a different, I guess, promoter or whatever now. So it'll all be different these days. Let me double check again to see if there's any extended teams. No. No extended teams, unfortunately. George Costanza, Lord of All Idiots. Yeah, I loved Costanza as well. I think I watched Costanza. Yeah, he came to Crown. I think it's called The Palms or something. He did a comedy show / sing along / interaction with the crowd. I thought that was cool. I thought that he was quite intriguing, and that actually was what prompted me to watch Seinfeld. I hadn't watched it before then. Thoughts on the Socceroos only beating Bangladesh? I'll be honest, I'm so far out of the loop with soccer these days. Like, I didn't really enjoy playing it. I just happened to be okay at the game, and that's probably why I stuck around for as long as I did, which wasn't long because I stopped playing when I was 20. But Australian soccer, in my opinion, has gone back quite a bit in the last 10 years. We need more divisions below the A-League that help filter in teams. So, for example, if you're young and you're not good enough to play A-League, well, that's fine. Come play B-League at this club and work your way up from there. The gap is too far or too big between A-League and your NPL, which is your local soccer leagues in Australia, unfortunately. Brother, pop up your favorite Collingwood jersey from over the years. Oh, that's an easy one. That's an easy one. And I'm not even going to search. I know on the cover of this game, who remembers? Oh, I thought they had my favorite jersey on this one here. This was my favorite. This was my favorite AFL game by far. I don't know how many of you played this, but this is better than any of the shit they fucking produce today. AFL 23 or whatever it is, all that garbage. Definitely one of the best games in my childhood. I thought they had the jersey I was thinking about. Collingwood Swoop. I think it's the Swoop jersey. Yeah. This one's cold. Like, look at that. Gorgeous. That is by far the best jersey I've seen in the black and white colours. Mavs or Celts? Well, we saw what happened to the Mavs today, and the 3-point game got away from them. I think Boston were like plus 30 against the Davs in the 3-point range. I think it's Boston's time. But in saying that, maybe it's like Doncic probably deserves a ring at this point as well. But you look at how many times or how close Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown have gotten to a ring. I'll be happy whoever wins at the end of the day. Both sides of these teams have players that I would be more than happy to see win a ring, like Al Horford. Like, who doesn't want to see Al Horford win a ring? I think he meant the Dava. Okay, yes, Ken, Dava. Ken, how you going, mate? Fitzroy is a good watch below A-League. Fitzroy is a good watch below A-League. Fitzroy, what? They're a certain ethnicity as well. I forget. I forget. It's not Macedonian, is it? I keep forgetting. I've been out of it for so long. That was the best. I had that game. The mini games rocked. I won Ricky. I think they ruined a lot of grassroots rivalries. We're trying to remove the NPL association with the A-League. Yeah, and I think, yeah, exactly, I guess. And, mate, like, to play NPL these days, or at least when I was playing, you had to chalk up $2-3 grand just to play one season because you're paying for these elite level coaches, which is all just bullshit in the end. I think people saw that soccer was growing and coaches and everyone else took advantage of the excitement and optimism of kids and families painting this picture that there was a dream, there was a clear pathway to become this certain player. Oh, go on a camp to England and train with Liverpool and all this shit. But it's just all just a marketing stunt. And these are the things that turned people away from the game. Even like an A-League victory, the Northern Terrace, they had massive run-ins with the A-League. People saw one or two flares at the game and then completely shut it down, completely shut down the fanfare. And I think people A-League and Australian football lost a lot of fans from those sort of things that have happened over the last 10, 15 years. AFL Live 2003 is mad too. I can't say I remember that one. Badger says Celtics 4-2. I think that's a fair guess. I reckon we need to do more jersey concepts as a club. The swooping magpie is a great design, so we should be able to innovate more. 100%. 100%. I also think, just back to A-League and soccer in general, I feel like why are we so reluctant and apprehensive to bring like a soccer ambience to the crowds in AFL level? Like, it's so boring. Like, I'd rather watch paint dry than listen to the Collingwood cheer squad. I'll sit with them on. I'm sorry if you guys are if any of you are in any AFL cheer squads, but you guys are boring. Like, it's just like, surely if that's a passion outside of your daily life or work, surely there's an emphasis to create chance, to get more people involved, all those sort of things. Like, look at German soccer, the Bundesliga. Look at Greece. Look at the Euro basketball scene. Like, the crowds are unbelievable. Why can't we implement that? Why isn't there a push to entertain those sort of environments? Like, that will just change the sport. The game itself is so entertaining, yes, but imagine if we added that element to our footy as well. Agreed, Kareem. Swooping jersey is mint. Yeah. Tell them about Brazil. Yeah, I mean, look, there are a lot of dodgy camps that you could go on, but the Brazil one that I went to was good. I actually played in a highly coveted tournament called the Zico Cup. And if you guys know soccer, Zico is a Brazilian legend. We played against teams like Cruzeiro, Botafogo, Sao Paulo, Corinthians, and we played against every under 15 side. We played against Kashima Antlers from Japan. So it was a serious comp. We got spanked in all of the games because we just took this terrible team. The club that managed to somehow swindle this opportunity isn't a good coach. We didn't have a good team, but he must have made it out to the Brazilian committee for this tournament that we were the best in Australia, the best players in Australia, and they're like, yeah, bring them over and play in this cup against full-time professional under 15 Brazilian and Japanese players and see how you go. And we end up losing our 4 group stage games, 10-0, 12-0, 11-0, and 6-0. So that's that story. I reckon I scored a hat-trick on you back in under 21s when I was at Dandy Thunder. I think I chipped you as well. Steph, brother, I never played against Dandy Thunder, unfortunately. I played at Dandenong City. I played at Springvale White Eagles. And then I played at Melbourne City. And then I retired. And then I called it there. I agree. Having a soccer-style chance in AFL would make the atmosphere so much better. The closest thing we have is the terrace apart. I loved what Port do with the terrace apart thing as well. And I like the songs between goals of players' favourite songs. I like that as well. So that's a cool little implementation, but I think we can do better than that. No flares in stadiums. Yeah, no flares in stadiums necessarily. All right, Craig Foster, back to that. You're funny, man. We should have said no. 19 jerseys does the supporters be pulling? What? Okay, we should have said number 19 jerseys. Can you explain that again? I'm sorry. I've been to rugby games, AFL games, and soccer football games. I'm going to say that soccer football crowds are really good for chants and atmospheres of the game. Something AFL can look into. Exactly right. 100% agree. I played at Car City. Like you mates with Manny, you a salesperson at Car City, is that what you're saying? Or Carlton City? Or there seems to be a lot of hype when the World Cup is on. Yeah, look, I love the Euro Cup and World Cup. I'll always watch. If there's a good game of FIFA, I'll play it. But unfortunately, FIFA's been in the mud for a long time. We should have sold no 19 jerseys for. Okay, that's what I'm saying. We should have sold jerseys with the number 19 on it as we are the 19th man on the field. I understand. I hate Port, but I really want to be at Adelaide Oval for the terrace apart at least once. Yeah. And you can just, liken that to what Liverpool do at Anfield, where they do the never walk along chant. So that's that. Hey, how do you think Collingwood will go Monday? Go Pies. Chris Talbot. How do you think Collingwood will go? Chris, how you going? It'll be a tough game. Like, Melbourne are going to come out all guns blazing. Yes, they're missing Jake Lever, but they're probably more healthy than us. Can Collingwood win? Yes, I always give them a chance, and you'd be silly to rub out Collingwood and not give them a chance. Both teams have different stories leading into the game. Collingwood's injuries, inability to close out games, and then you got Melbourne's fucking, what was it, a capitulation against Fremantle. But we're not going to get that again from Melbourne. There's no way. But be strong in the contest. The D's have been poor in the contest realm in the last 5 matches, and Collingwood needs to start moving the ball better. It's hard when we have what we have on the field. It's probably not enough, but maybe something we can do. Joking, buddy. Russell, that was a shit joke. What did he say? Let's go. What did he say? I played at Car City. That's a bad joke, Russell. Joking, buddy. That's a hey, at least you tried. At least you tried. Collingwood is the only club to have a soccer style chant a la Liverpool. Troy, what's the chant that we use? What's the chant? FIFA has been shit ass. The game doesn't feel good like it did a decade ago. Exactly. It's never been the same. It has not been the same in quite some time, unfortunately. Melbourne being smashed last week is probably the worst thing for us. Exactly. As we say, Collingwood always come up against teams who are playing as if it's their grand final, and to make matters worse, we're coming up against a very good side who lost by 100 points, who are going to want to respond, who are a very proud club, and they're going to want to turn down the murmurs in the media as soon as possible. And how do they do that? They need a win. Yeah, that's right. Sorry, Collingwood. That is, it's a good chant. It's pretty minimalistic and not hard to come across, but it's definitely a very nice thing that Collingwood have been able to maintain over the course of time. So that is good. People said that about the Saints when we got bodied by GWS, but they still beat us. Yeah. So people said that about the Saints when we got bodied by GWS, but they still beat us. They did. I feel like we're in a different position now. We're actually playing good footy, whereas actually, we did play good against GWS as well, to be fair. And then we got trounced against St Kilda. Maybe just a statistical anomaly, that one. But anything's possible. This is sport. If it was predictable, it wouldn't be fun. It wouldn't be fun. I'm going to check the AFL website again. Nothing. Yeah. No extended teams. People said, when Maynard kicks it, do a big wolf like the Blue Backers do. I think they do that for Sard because of a player that used to play for Carlton that went by the nickname of Wolf or something. Yeah, Marty, 12 scoring shots in the first quarter against the Dogs, and that wasn't. Yeah, we needed to take our chances in that first quarter, especially with the lack of experience that we have on the team. We need in our team right now. We need to take advantage of our momentum, which I've said before. AFL Insight. How you going, mate? Your videos, very good. I watched 2 of them yesterday. Really like what you're doing, and I can tell, and I know how much time it takes to put in the amount of effort that you are putting into the videos, and the quality of it is unbelievable. So, guys, if you haven't seen or come across AFL Insights videos before, have a look at his channel. He does a lot of statistical based videos to the next level and articulates his points very well. And it's like almost like a documentary type of video, similar to my Nick Dacos video, similar to the Carlton versus Collingwood video that I did regarding our clash in round 22, and similar to the Dane Beams video that I did earlier in the week. Do you think the Pies are the biggest threat to the Swans this year? Not right now, not with our injury list. And I feel like there's still a few profiles in our game that we need to work on. I think if you have a look at Wheelo Insight, I'm not sure what your name is, but if you have a look at Wheelo, our ability to move the ball from end to end has been poor this year. Our stoppages have been good. Our turnovers have been okay. Contested ball is good, but ultimately, it's just, can you score when you go in, and can you defend when the ball comes in as well? Those are, like you've pointed out to before in your videos, those are the most important things at the end of the day. And that's why Collingwood were able to win games despite being so poor in so many statistical categories last year. We just won games because we were efficient, and then we held down any barrages and any sieges on our defense because Darcy Moore and Nathan Murphy were able to stay strong. And if we didn't intercept mark the ball inside 50 in our defensive 50, we were able to clean up at ground level as well. Yeah, Woody's watched it. Very good. Saw his Kane Corns video. Definitely biased against Ken Hinkley. There you go. So we've got a few people who've watched. Steph, you're not banned, brother. We wouldn't ban you here. No chance. Vak Perkovic was the wolf. Okay. Vak Perovic, sorry. Totally agree, Russell. Pick Kruger this week and Smith in the ruck then. Nah. I think Kruger in the ruck and Smith in the ruck. Nah. I wouldn't go Smith, not yet. Goalless, quarters, sides can blow us away. We've been lucky. Exactly. Val Perovic. There you go. Is it Velibor or I played at a couple Yugoslavian clubs. One being Croatian, one being Serbian. I know Val was Velibor or Valibor or something, or Vladen or all that sort of stuff. So I'm familiar with some of those Yugoslavian names. No teams, guys. No extended teams. Could Maynard play forward this? Nah. Maynard is a backman. Maynard is a backman for sure. Maybe midfield a little bit. Sometimes Maynard, if you guys know, sometimes he sneaks into the centre bounce at the start of the game just to sort of assert his dominance. I know he did it against Carlton on maybe one or two occasions. Maybe he did it this year against Carlton. And I think he did it a couple years ago in that round 22 clash. In round 22, he started in the middle on Cripps to sort of ruffle his feathers. Ruck, Murray, Kill, Harry O'Brien, Alan Tuvey, Anthony Rocker. I think that's an easy one, isn't it? Wait, Ruck. FMK is what you want to play. What about like just we'll start Anthony Rocker. We'll bench Harry O'Brien and we'll drop Alan Tuvey. How about that? Braz in the back or maybe in the middle to bring some physical presence. Exactly what I just suggested, Stav. Yeah, good point. You guys will be keen for a Sunday stream though? Everyone in the chat, you guys be keen for a Sunday stream at 6? Probably start at like 5:45 and just chat along, and then at 6:20 we'll get our finalized teams for the pies. Are we happy to do that as well? You're a smart man. Sometimes the brain works, sometimes the brain doesn't, Steph. Sometimes the brain works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it's hard to gather my train of thought when I'm reading these questions and trying to answer at the same time. If there was one player you would get the haircut of, who would it be? Oh, good question. Let's share my screen and let's have a little gander. Let's go add to stage here. I feel like even like Lipinski's hair is pretty cool. I can't lie. But you've just got to have a certain hair type as well. Like you can't force if you don't have that hair. What about this? What about this guy? Who remembers this bloke? Absolute legend. Who remembers that? Oh, here we go. That's the 2018 grand final. Sorry, guys. Wasn't that electric, bro? Bring back Nathan Buckley. If there was that's the hair. That's the hair I'd go for there. All right, tell you if I'll catch you on the next one. Good stuff. Yeah. See you, Steph. See you Sunday, mate. Russ kicked one from an Elliott handball this year. Yeah, he did. We also kicked. I think he kicked a goal last week off a handball as well, didn't he? Against the Doggies? No. Anyways, guys, it's 7:05. I want to eat some food and watch the Brisbane Lions and Doggies game. Be sure to quickly leave a like on the stream if you enjoyed it as well. That helps go a long way. Caleb and I will be on stream again this Sunday at about 5:45 for 6:20 teams to be released. And then we'll do the pre-game show and the post-game show on Monday. And then Wednesday, we're going to do the ratings. I'm not sure how many of you guys watched the ratings with Caleb and I on the Monday past. I think we did it. So we're going to do that this Wednesday upcoming. So be sure to stick around for that as well. Thanks, Jackson, for staying. Benny, see you, mate. Red Stab, thank you for sticking around as well. We'll see you guys Sunday. Craig, thanks for sticking around, mate. All the best. And Champs, we'll see you Sunday, brother. Get well soon. See you, Russell. See you guys. Thanks, Hendo. Have a good one, mate. I'm starving. I will eat up. Hopefully I don't get food poisoning like Caleb. Have a good weekend. You too, Woody. All the best to the Sainers. And still waiting for your video, mate. Still waiting. See you, Jackson. See you, mate. Take care. And Jackson, looking forward to seeing you guys next time. And thanks, Troy. You're my favorite. See ya. See you, Ken.